Hi everyone, sorry it's been a while since I did a vlog. I have very good reasons for not doing a vlog for such a long time. As a lot of you know, I very recently lost my grandpa and I just needed to be strong enough to talk about it before I did a vlog for you guys again. So actually on the day that I did my last vlog was the day that it all started to occur, this downward spiral that ended in my beautiful papa who I idolise leaving this world. So yeah, it was on the day that I posted my last vlog, I went over to their house because I go over to their house most days to see an ambulance pulling out of their driveway with sirens blaring, and I just was in complete shock because I'd spoken to him a couple of days before and he said he'd never felt better and was feeling better than he's ever felt before, all of those things, until this was on Thursday and Friday, and Monday I turn up and the ambulance is taking him. So the 40 hours that followed that ambulance taking him off, not even 48 hours, were just a whirlwind of, and not in the good way. He started to get better on the Monday afternoon / night. Then Tuesday morning, he wasn't responding to antibiotics because he had pneumonia too, even though he was suffering cancer, being treated for cancer, sorry. It wasn't the cancer that killed him, it was the pneumonia. And his body was just too weak and he wasn't responding to the antibiotics. So he was good and then not good and then good. But the bottom line was they asked us to come in and say our goodbyes on Tuesday. Now, full disclosure, I suffer terrible panic attacks about death, and I have since being a young girl. So to face it head on like that was just awful, with someone that I love so dearly, and still to this day, and will continue to love dearly. I have a very strong bond with my papa and I will always cherish that. So yeah, to face it full on was very, very hard for me, and even for and obviously for the family that don't even suffer panic attacks. He was very loved. So I didn't feel a part of the world for a very long time. I felt like I was overlooking the world and not in my own body, and I didn't exist in this world. I just felt like I was in some bad dream and wanting to wake up and didn't know what the day or time was, it just was a blur. Everything was a blur. My whole world was turned upside down. And mentally and physically, yes, I did struggle a lot. So did the whole family, but I had to be more wary because of where I've come from and everything. But my body was in shock initially. I was in denial for the first 12 or so hours after he passed, thinking this is not true, he's going to come back, he's going to, when they told us to come in and say our final goodbyes at the hospital, I still was like, Papa's not going anywhere. He's staying here. This is my extremely capable, strong papa, and he's not going anywhere. So I guess, yeah, I was in denial and it wasn't good. Anyway, so yes, it's interesting going through that, and I was dreading the funeral because that really just faces that whole death thing head on. But I know he was suffering a lot, and at least he left without really knowing he was in pain or anything, But yeah, it was a very hard time. It continues to be a hard time, as it's a different type of grief, I guess. Initially, it's that shock of them passing, but I'd spoken to him a couple of days before. Now it's a sort of grief of, as time goes on and weeks go on and months go on, you go, it's been so long since I've had a conversation with you, Papa, and it's a deep grief of just really longing to speak to him and really, really missing him because it's been so long. But I will get through it because we all have to deal with grief. We all have to deal with grief and we all have to deal with death. It's just a part of life. And I know his last wish would be for me to be thriving and as healthy as possible and living life to the full. So, yes, initially it was hard for me to find that strength, but time has gone on enough for me to now build that strength and do what my papa always wanted me to do, which is to be the best possible me. I know that was honestly his last dying wish. He wanted me to be the best me, and I don't want to ever let him down. So I'm feeling really strong in terms of my own issues right now. Many exciting things ahead, and in less than a week I turn 27, so I may as well get my poo-poos together. But that's just a little update. So it was so tragic, but I'm sure you all saw that coming anyway. Hopefully I'll be vlogging a bit more now that I'm through the worst times. Bye guys.